And here we go. Tonight we are talking about the Newton Running Isaac 2, a neutral road running shoe that has got a lot going on here. This is a very nice shoe that is built for kind of every activity, right? It's walking, it's running, it's running around doing chores and then popping this on and then going for a quick spin. And I did just that. Also some long run as well for the Newton Isaac 2 to give you a full breakdown, in-depth, deep dive for this shoe. Newton was so kind to send me this shoe for the purposes of review for you guys on the channel. So let's dive right into it. And here we go for the Newton Isaac 2, guys. Oh boy. So just so you know, everything about this shoe is like, just got like that extra percentage of just quality. That's what I'm thinking. Quality with this shoe here. Oh boy. So these laces, man, they're just like purpose driven, purpose built. They're ready for action. Oh man. So if you remember the Momentum, how long those laces were, that Newton Momentum, these are not the case at all. These feel a little bit more, you know what? They almost remind me of an old Clifton lace. In fact, just kind of that width, that stretch, that thickness. Oh man, it is a very pleasant lace. I really enjoyed the laces here on the Isaac 2. And then taking a feel and taking a look of the eyelet chain and kind of that reinforcement. Look how reinforced that is. Look at all that material there. Wow, man, this is gonna like go for a long time, guys. I'm telling you. Oh man. And then of course didn't have any issues with how they came together. There wasn't really any touching going on here as far as the two halves of the eyelet chain, considering the upper and then the material used for the lateral medial aspect of the shoe. Okay, taking a look at the tongue there again, look how thick and how plush this tongue is, man. And it kind of juts out just very pleasantly to the left and to the right side. I didn't have any issue with this tongue migrating as I went along, and I found it to be very comfortable. All right, that being said, all right, and we can talk about this now. So I have the runner's loop here engaged for the laces. Whenever I did kind of clench them down, I did notice though that there was a little bit of pressure going on kind of right here at the bend of my foot where the leg meets the foot right here. And that is probably on me. It's not on the shoe. It's just the way I had it laced, but it's just something that I noticed. Not a crazy big deal, and overall it did kind of smooth out as the run progressed. Okay, and now just remember back to the tongue, just how ventilated this tongue is. Wow, it is thick, but yet it does have quite a bit of ventilation going on, and then kind of reaching down into here, and the plushness just continues all the way down to the top of the toe box here. Oh yeah, looking inside, there are these little miniature gussets going on right here and right here as far as the tongue goes. So it's not a crazy band of material that goes around the midfoot, reaching out for the midsole, but it is there and it does keep that tongue nice and secure. Moving on to the upper. So this is an adaptive air mesh upper, and it does feel quite thick to the hand, but while it does feel thick, it does have quite a bit of ventilation. Like I can see right through the material to the camera, to the light, and it is just shining right through. In fact, I'm just kind of tracking it along and it stops right there. And this is kind of where that heel collar goes, and that's kind of expected. So actually, I will agree. In fact, I did a long run today and it was super duper hot out. Wow, a lot hotter than I expected. But that's just southern Minnesota this time of year. And I had zero issues with the ventilation. In fact, this shoe was very comfortable. I didn't have any problems with that at all. Moving into the toe box, it does have a bit of a tapered shape to it. All right, and then looking at it, you would think that there's not a ton of room in the toe box, but actually I found that this toe box was very roomy and I didn't have any issues. Okay, I went fit true to size, that size 11 for me, and in fact there was quite a bit of room from the tip of my toe to the beginning of the material of the toe box way down here, so I didn't have any issues. Also didn't have any issues with my foot sliding around at all either. Now the toe box does have a little bit of reinforcement here with the toe cap as well. And then, so just feeling it, you can definitely feel a difference between where the toe box is here and then here, but right here, it does have a little difference of feel inside. It's not, you know, something unpleasant or abrasive or scratchy, but it's very, very smooth, and then not smooth, and then it begins smooth again. Again, didn't feel that while I was running, but it's just noticeable whenever I'm getting my hand in here. Now moving on to the heel collar. Wow. So this heel collar, man, look at this. There is so much foam here, guys. It is just a lot. This actually reminds me, hang on. So this heel collar actually reminds me of the 1080 V13. Okay, just the feeling of it, the luxuriousness of it. Okay, expensive shoe. Not so expensive shoe, just so you know. Okay, and just taking a feel of it, it's just a really pleasant sensation all the way down. In fact, the foam continues all the way down past the insert and then into the top of the footbed. Wow. And then having to feel kind of that little pillow here. You know, it's not a very thick pillow, but it is nice and squishy and cushy and nice, and just, it was a very pleasant sensation. Okay. And looking in here, there's not a super deep heel cavern for that calcaneal, that heel bone to sit in. But it was needed. Once everything was all laced up and good to go, there was no heel slippage at all whatsoever. Okay, built like a tank. Look at this. Our M1 Abrams down here, all right, in the shoe lab. There is just all kinds of cool tank going on for the Isaac 2. And then, yeah, just material here, very subtle. Not a crazy amount of decal going on here. Just a little subtle Newton right there, and then like the cool little N with the atom right there. That's just a cool little touch there. Newton, good job, guys. All right, pulling out the footbed, and we got the footbed or insert, whatever you like to call it, right here. And I like it, man. Look at this. So we've got this nice, really like steep piece here going on, where that heel and that arch just sits right in there, and it's just a really pleasant sensation. You got a little one here on the lateral side here, and it just comes on down. Very nice insert, and it just works very well with the footbed here on the top there. Okay, there's a very nice, it's not a super aggressive arch, but it's a very mild arch that just kind of rises to meet you, and then of course works with the upper here. You know, I will say that the upper, you know, once cinched down, it wasn't a super aggressive tight, you know, race car feel, but it was a very nice held in place, the foot nice, and the foot was held in place, and it wasn't, you know, sliding around, and it did work very well with the arch system and the footbed there for the Isaac 2. And just kind of getting my hand in here, you can kind of already start to feel the midsole, which we can talk about here in a second. Feeling around inside for any lumps or bumps or anything crazy like that, protrusions or anything like that. Nope, nothing at all. Again, very good job, Newton, you know, with the construction of the shoe. It's a super nice shoe. It's a very nice, a very versatile shoe. And moving into the midsole, so we actually have two kinds of foam here. We got an Energize NRG Plus foam mixed with XPS P-Bax plating system. Whoa, there's so many foams going on. And I gotta say, just getting my hand in here and just, you know, the ride and the energy and everything, it was very plush, very nice. It wasn't overly soft, and we can talk about the exterior here in a second. But this shoe, this Newton Isaac 2, it did not feel really at all like any of the other Newton running shoes that I run in. And honestly, we're trending in kind of a good direction, I feel like, with this one here, because instead of it being so isolated and specific to one task running, this has got all kinds of jobs built into it. And the main reason is we've got like a nice lower stack. We got a 21 in the forefoot and a 29 with an 8 mil drop. You know, it's not a crazy high stack height shoe. You know, the foam It's not the most lively foam, it's not the most energetic foam, but it does have, you know, a lot more going on as far as the rest of the shoe, again, compared to the other Newton running models, okay? I was doing some heel striking, does well with the heel strike. I was doing some kind of, you know, looking for other places other than the lugs here, and it did well with that. You know, I was kind of coming over here to the lateral side, coming over here to the medial side, and the shoe just continued to accept whatever I was doing here and just, you know, kind of leaning me back, just gently guided me back to just a nice gait cycle that I had no problem actually just forgetting about the shoe entirely. Wow, it's it's hard to put into words, but just the way that Newton has got this shoe just kind of bring it in, and the way that it feels once it's on and you're going along there, the shoe honestly feels like it was built specifically for you, which is just something that I thought about while running. And of course, talking about the ride and energy return, we're going to talk about the little lugs here. Okay, so this is different than their typical version of the lugs. I'll show you. Here's the momentum. You can see the lug difference. Left side of your screen, you can see that there are 5 lugs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here on the momentum going under each of your metatarsal bones, those foot bones. And over here, we have 8 of them. So they're split, right? And then you've got these fun little outriggers over here, and then some stuff in the front and some stuff in the back. I feel like what's going on here, running on these, the first thing that I thought of was pop rocks, okay? Just the way that these feel underfoot, you know, when you are kind of just listening for the feeling under step, it just feels like Pop Rocks candy in a very, very pleasant way, okay? In fact, you know, the way that they have these lugs split up, you know, there's this kind of action, and then there's this kind of action, and no matter where I landed, like I said a minute ago, the shoe just really was accepting whatever I was doing. You know, I was being... honestly, the way I was running was just quite not intentional and quite sloppy, quite the opposite of the momentum back there, which was I had to be very focused and very, very intentional about where I was landing in order to get the maximum from those lugs. But that was not the case here. I could be all over the place and these lugs were still keeping up with me. And just like, you know, being there and stuff. And it was just a really pleasant and nice, reassuring sensation that I can just kind of slack off and still, you know, have a shoe that is kind of, you know, doing the job of keeping me on the straight and narrow, if you will. And I did some heel striking and it did well there. There's a nice little heel bevel, but it's not a crazy aggressive, you know, shape or anything like that. So there again, it could be for running and then all kinds of other tasks as well. A little bit more about kind of the lugs here. So you can kind of see how the foam comes over, and then you have kind of the lugs here. This is a lot harder. In fact, we'll do a durometer check here, but I'm just letting you know kind of the difference here in this Newton running versus some of the other shoes out there. Basically, you can kind of see right here where those lugs are set and ready to rock and roll. Basically, the lugs, they go in, they bounce off of the midsole here, this foam, and then they shoot back out like miniature trampolines, all giving their little energy back in the form of energy return and keeping you moving and grooving. All right, so this is the thing I've been wanting to do. This is the durometer here. This is the Shore A durometer, basically checking the hardness of the, or better yet, the softness of the foam here. So I'm gonna start here at the pinky toe, okay? We're gonna jump right in. It's gonna be, whoa, 28. Below that one, it is 29.5. Okay, we're gonna go lateral heel. Just under the heel, 22. And then one more down, that's 28. So a little bit of a difference there. The medial heel here, we're gonna go to the top, that's 35, interesting. And then towards the bottom, 28. Wow, super interesting stuff. Okay, around the big toe here, all right, the foam here is 27.5, and then below that one, it is 32, but then you have your lugs here. The lugs here, again, work with that foam, which is a little bit harder than some of the Newtonium that I've dealt with here in the past, to give that spring back, that energy return in the form of these lugs, again, squishing inward into the foam and then shooting back out towards the exterior to give the runner a little bit of propulsion. So cool. So cool. So let's pop this on the scale and find out how much it weighs. Running Isaac 2, men's size 11. How much are we? Ooh, 11.1 ounces. So 11.1 ounces is kind of what it feels like. It does feel like a moderately heavy shoe. But again, you know, just the construction and how durable and all the things that we talked about, you know, I'm honestly not that surprised, and I'm not really upset, because the use for this shoe, it's not going to be race day. It's not going to be a one and done shoe. This is going to last a long time. I feel like I'm going to be running it. I feel like I'm going to be walking around it. I'm going to probably wear this to work. In fact, I think that this shoe could be the next 30-day stress test shoe. You know, and I'm doing the Cloud Surfer next right now. But once that's done, I think that I can do it with this one here. Let's not say that this dad shoe stress test is any little like cakewalk. These shoes, whenever they get, you know, into that little mode there, they get like, they got their work cut out for them, I'm telling you. All right, so we can do that one with this one here, because I feel like it's going to be excellent for that. Coming up here. All right, so moving on to the outsole. Wow, look at all of this rubber. Whoa. And it kind of goes back to that 11.1 ounces, all right? Built like a truck. You know, they don't make them like they used to, but here it is. Man, look at that. So this rubber, all right, let's just have a look. Any sign of wear and tear at all? No, not even a little bit. Man, this is gonna last a long time. So durability prediction is super duper high on this one, I'm telling you, right there. And look, it's got some flexibility already. It's got some twistability already. It is just a really cool shoe, Newton Running. I appreciate you guys sending this out. 140 bucks and this shoe can be yours. And the price is perfect. It is not super expensive. Some of these crazy prices coming along these days. And here we got a nice, you know, ease on the wallet, and that is just a beautiful thing for all the stuff that we can do with this shoe. I think that's a bargain. 'Tis a bargain. Alrighty, so that is it for the Newton Running Isaac 2. Very much appreciate you guys watching, hanging out. My name is Jason. I'm a dad. I'm a podiatry nurse practitioner specializing in foot care, and I use that to kind of guide my reviews, but this is not a medical channel. It is a super fun-filled family running channel, and I appreciate you guys watching it. Please click like. That will tell YouTube and give the algorithm a bump to spread this to others, like-minded runners. And please, if you want to, subscribe. Feel free, come along, join the journey. It's gonna be awesome, because down here we're talking about family and coffee and running shoes. Family, this guy, coffee, little black rifle, and of course Newton Running Isaac 2. Boom, there it is. So much appreciated. You guys have a wonderful beginning of fall, and we'll catch you in the next one. Let me just head to the store. Oh, here we go, right here. Which one? That is the decision. Of course, I want the one in the very middle. Oh, it's got a little dew on it. There we go. Apple.